Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Cameras. Hit me. This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
And the man KJ Spio live in the studio this morning with us. Very excited for him to be here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, now just 24 hours ago, we were talking heavily about this song, and it's a fresh one, fresh cut. And I'm sure you're going to love the conversation this morning. But before I even come to our guests in the studio, don't forget that next week, Friday, Garage will be officially opening inside East Legon again after a long break from the January. And what even makes it nicer is that so after a dirty December and the break that was taken in January, now we're gearing up. That's 3 Music is gearing up with Garage, and we're going to have a crazy party called Location. Okay, so we are setting the tone for the parties this year already with the very first one. I think this will be the first official jam happening this year. I don't think anyone has done anything this year yet. So it is going to be the first official jam. Location, the location itself too is Garage, and our guest DJ on the night will be DJ Wallpaper. You know, big shouts to him. His birthday is also next week, so it's going to be a good week for him as well as he jams us. Crazy party. You can't miss it from 8 p.m. If you want more information, check our socials. Don't miss out on Location happening on the 9th of February. You don't want to miss that. We're going to be jamming to Oxlade and Sarkodie. And man KG on this one. So don't miss out. 8 p.m. It's open gates, open free. Just come through, buy our tables if you can as well. Make some money for us. You get it. Let's party. Location is probably sponsored by 2131 Lead Challenge or Forget It. Promoted by Plus FM and powered by 3 Music TV. And on that note, before we even jump into new conversation this morning, real quickly, Olele was saying something about TikTok. I don't know what you should bring up right now.
So the breaking news is Universal Music Group, which is arguably one of the biggest music labels in the world, unfortunately have a spat. Hi.
Will you sit down?
They have a spat with TikTok, and starting from today,
You have
a spat.
Oh, bro, breaking it down now. Morning show.
Charlie, the
spit. Yes. And the past tense of the spit is that
osteo
they
what?
have a spat.
Osteo what?
So someone to Sogu. Spotify. So spat on Spotify.
Yeah. So basically, what's happening is they couldn't renew their agreement with TikTok, and as a result, they are pulling down their catalog
of all
TikTok.
Universal Music.
Yes. So what that means is, even if you were subsidiary of Universal Music Group and your song is being used by a content creator on TikTok, what's going to happen is UMG is going to mute the song or strike out the song. And if you upload a new video with the song, they will strike it out.
Ouch. It's going to be muted.
It's going to be muted.
Yeah, what happens is when
challenges no swate.
So basically, the argument is, they were fighting for fair compensation for their artists. I mean, it's okay to go viral, but we need the money. So how we going to do it? You know what I'm saying? And also, secondly, one of the things they also identified was the use of AI. I think, that whole thing with the AI recreating songs with their artists.
They're under threat.
You understand? So...
So how it works is when songs are pulled down from the platform, it's muted, right? Now you have the option to replace sound. Okay. So now what it is you can't replace sound even if you've earlier saved the sound that you already used. Now you can't even find that sound to use anymore. So you just have to use the songs that are available on the platform. And so that's what
our
it is.
in-house TikTok is.
You either do it that way or
the fight
you
is
leave
crazy,
it as mute.
Because TikTok is also saying that we want to app. We don't take pay people. We just promote to put them as well. UMG say no.
Yeah.
That ain't happening again.
It's going to force. It's going to force the creation of new, adjacencies, new platforms. Because same thing happened with movies to DVDs to streaming. Right.
And I think that right now, how the world is going, UMG can take their things. Underground underground, yo.
That's the risk. That's the risk
Anyway.
they stand.
KJ Spio live in the studio. Hey, I just ran bars, 20 bars, man.
It's off your juice today.
Thank you. Please, it's your song also, and UMG. Oh, we feel free to.
I think mine is in the Warner Music Group.
Warner Music Group.
No, we are safe. We are safe. Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. We are safe. So please, if you're on TikTok, go jam with Oxlade and Sark and KJ Spio. Title of the song is Undress You. So I can't imagine the challenge that will come with that. Hey, if people have to start undressing on, the craziest. I think the craziest challenge was a silhouette challenge, if you ask me. And then the one that they walk on the
people are getting flashback in their cars.
Right, like we were so eager to find the next video and the next video and the next video. But anyway, it's all good though. Yo, KJ, welcome to the studio. Welcome to Plus FM. Welcome to 3 Music TV.
Pleasure having me.
I know you're one of those jet setters. You just come in and then you are out, real quick. You guys are hardly at one place. It's all good. But I mean, the world has heard a lot about you and your relationship with Sark and how you have been influential in this brand as well and all. And I mean, we spot you in pictures and stuff with him. We're going to talk about a lot, but let's start off with the music first and let's settle down. Let's settle that first. So is this your first official production? So, ladies and gentlemen, you saw the video we played earlier on that had Oxlade and Sark in there. Let's check the video out again, and just to drop a reminder for those of you who haven't seen it, check it out now. And when we come back, there's a lot to talk about here on 3 Music TV. Check it out. Video, the visuals on there. Listen, the body art in there is crazy. It reminds me of a body art. I'm going to put a picture up on my socials in these coming days. I did some body art.
Send it to me today to verify.
I did some body arts like about some many years ago, like some 13 years ago. And when I dropped that photo, boom, Charlie, crazy. Yeah, but anyway, loving that video. I want to find out, is this your first official, music video you're dropping with visuals, or you've done stuff in the past?
Yes, this is my debut single, but I actually had an EP out I think last year.
Okay.
Called East Meets West.
Meets West. That's a mouthful for me. Yeah. And Lisa East Mist. East meets West.
Yeah, you went to watch Motor, so this.
East meets West.
I recorded a whole project in Tanzania.
Oh wow!
All the East African artists.
Nice.
And one West African artist.
Was there a reason why you chose this concept and you went East Africa against West Africa?
I happened to be there, to be fair, and I was filming some other stuff, and I made an album in the process, an EP in the process. So that's how it came about. Yeah.
How easy was it to connect with the people? With artists there to.
Very, very easy. It's a very small community, and everybody is very. One artist will introduce you to the other one. Mm-hmm. It was very easy and it's very beautiful. Very easy people to work with.
It excites me because then it brings me this question about you just doing a comparative analysis in some of the places you've been in. So you've done East Africa, you've done West Africa, you've done the UK. Yeah. Now, when you look at music growth, how quick it is to make things happen. What are some of the opportunities that you feel that all these 3 areas I've mentioned are probably not, championing or taking on just to be able to build better music communities?
I think the more sleeping on our talent. There's so much talent and there's so many great artists around that everybody coming together will just amplify what we're doing. So I think that's the biggest. It's slept on.
Slept on.
Yeah,
I mean, was it recently we were talking about? Who was we saying? Okay, what's my producer? We're saying that throwing a bit of more focus on, other artists. When you were in Tanzania, did you experience anything like attention being given to other talents, in their community?
100%. What it was
as opposed to how we are very focused on our top list artists, and after 2-3 years, and we just get one to just creep his or her way through.
So I'll give you a perfect example. I went because of Harmonize.
Okay.
And he introduced me, said, "Oh, Mario, this guy is the next one." And Mario said, "No, you need to speak to this person." Diamond was like, "Need to speak to that person." Mm-hmm. So it's that connectivity. Yeah. Everybody was, championing each other.
Yeah.
So that's how I end up.
What do you do for all these people?
I think for different people, it's different things. You know, some people it's business, some people it's creative. So I think I do both.
How do you encourage some of these artists, celebrities to get into other businesses, and other things to profit their brand?
I think it depends. So naturally, if let's say you're an artist that you're into fashion, naturally you have a great sense of fashion, then I'll be like, yo, it would be good to partner up with this person or introduce you to someone that could actually make that happen. So
there is word on the street about your influence in Sark's fashion space. I mean, I picked that. I was like, look, there's a person who's very key on Sark's image, and when you see Sarkodie and you appreciate how, like, there's a guy who also plays a very, I don't know how true, or I don't know, I just heard that. If you can clarify that's true.
But I think we inspire each other when it comes to fashion. Yeah.
What's the relationship like, you and Sark? How did you guys meet up?
We met in 2012.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, 2012. Remember when he was working on the TMG album?
Yeah.
Remember there was an album?
Yeah.
What happened to that album?
I think okay. So this is my
that is the JSO.
This is my take. Yeah.
I please
really give us singles of that.
Yes,
like
please.
Yes, please speak on that, because I think it's an unspoken conversation.
Yes.
We never knew what happened.
Yeah, I'm
please
with you on that one.
Please talk to
So the thing with Sark is he records so much music.
Okay.
And he is very energy and moment driven.
Okay.
So if he feels a certain way, even if you listen to records that's come out lately, they all have this similar type of feel, right?
Right.
So what happened was I felt like we all took long with the project. That's what happened. After the third single, we've taken long. And when you're not in that space anymore.
Styles change.
Style change anymore, exactly. And Peter and Berger is one of his favorite records. Till today, he
still performs it, like all his sets, big stage, small stage.
That record was mad.
Yeah.
So I can imagine the other songs that never made it out.
Yeah, but I think one day we may have
I'll leak it.
Yeah.
The number of people want to leak.
How do you feel? How do you think he would feel if you leaked the song of his prior relationship? Like,
I think with him, it depends. He probably wouldn't, because he wants music out. He's the type of person that he always wants music out, but it's based on how he feels in the moment. Whatever he puts out is a reflection of how he's feeling at the time.
Take me through your shopping world, since you say you inspire each other.
For me,
taste, choices.
I'm not a big brand type of person. I'm more of comfortable. I always dress for comfortability.
Yeah.
I always wear whatever is comfortable, right? And I don't like to spend too much. And, you know what I'm saying? So I like brands that are not too expensive.
Yeah.
So I think for him,
your brother is the opposite.
Yeah,
I think he's made per his brand as well.
Is also he's a very visual person, so it's what he sees.
Yeah,
so that's the difference. But I think we have similar styles, I would say. So naturally, we would inspire each other, encourage each other.
Yeah,
the style. So that's
I mean, we've had a great relationship between you two, and I love the fact that you mentioned that you inspire each other as well. But when it comes to music in his music space, I'm sure you had chances to be in recording sessions and stuff like that. How does that play? How does the synergy play with you guys? Do you throw in your ideas? Do you critique them? Do you share your views?
Only when I'm asked.
Is there a reason that is?
Yeah, because I feel like one thing, I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of extremely talented artists over the years. So naturally they all have a certain passion, a certain level of skill level where they are very specific.
Yeah.
So I try not to
interfere
with the creative process. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I'm asked, then I'll put in my 2 cents. But if I'm not, then I appreciate it. Or if I feel it could have been this way, I would say it. But normally I let them do what they do. That's what it is.
What has pushed you back to work on the music, put visuals on there now, 2023? What has pushed you back into wanting to get yourself back in?
I think I've always been busy working on projects all the time. Even this record, we made a record with Oxlade a year ago. So it took a whole year.
Wow.
And naturally that's pretty much the average time for a single between making a record, going back, making changes. So I think it's been busy doing other things. Just
a whole year. What kept the music in the shadows?
Just working. Everyone, Oxlade, touring, doing different things, working on different projects, and I think I have about 18, 20 songs already to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I'm not.
So you've recorded?
Yeah. I have records, ready to go. But I'm not going to use none of them. I'm going to make a new record for the next.
Why that disease? That's artist disease. That's artist disease.
I think it has to feel fresh. So for this particular record, we went back in November and remade the record.
Oh,
okay.
You know, we shot a video in December 31st. That
was the touched it up before.
Yeah, exactly. So everything is fresh. It feels, very fresh. Sometimes things change, energies change, and for me, music has to reflect. When you think of all your favorite records, you probably remember the time and space you were in when you were playing it, or when, and that's the same thing I want to do with my music. I want it to be something where it captures that space. So you're like, 2024 January, this is the energy I had. So, but sometimes when it's been there for a long time, it might not be the same. So went back and touched it up.
I understand when you say that the energy has to be right, you're feeding off the energy, at the moment. But that also goes to speak to, what we say about quality music that transcends time, right? So would you say that you don't think that it's of the quality that you want it to be, and so that's why? Because how I'm looking at it is, regardless of what it is, right? If it's good, why not put it out? That's why we don't understand why artists create, and then they don't put it out. For us, it wouldn't make sense.
I have a perfect analogy for it, right?
Okay.
It's
love
like
to hear,
clothes, right? You have more than a few pieces in your closet. So like this morning, what you chose is how you felt, correct? Whatever we all wear in the morning,
it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. So that's the same thing with music as well. Because if you put a record out because you think it's a hit record or it's a great record, and you don't have that vibe within yourself, how it's received is different. So I think it's mainly a vibe of how you feel. If you're in a very happy party mode, you make that type of record. If you're more if you think of a time, for instance, that's a very, reflective type records. So I think it's all a vibe and how you feel at a particular time.
Okay, so you are curating these music experiences. You are not going to be on the songs, no.
I mean, you don't know.
Because I was going to ask if you have yourself on any of the joints.
I have a couple of them where I'm doing my Khaled,
Another one.
What's yours? What's yours?
I have a few.
What was it? What was it like? Sometimes when you have loads of top celebrity artists, on the songs, how do you manage the spaces? Sometimes it might get difficult. You might want to change something. You, the owner of the song, you might not like something. Maybe you didn't like a bit of Oxlade's part, you didn't like a bit of Sark's part. But going back to have those conversations, how easy or difficult is it?
So, fun fact, right? So this particular record, when we went back to remake the record, to touch it up, I should say, in November, after we had it done, I was speaking to one of my guys who's an artist as well, who I actually, we exchange a lot of ideas.
Okay.
So he said, this amazing record, but I can see this type of way. Okay. So we wanted to change the arrangement. So the conversation was, yo, Oxy, what I'm saying? So then he came back but what he said was so passionate. He said the reason he went, and he broke down a lot of stuff. And I'm like, ooh, that's deep. And that's coming from a place where he actually loves the record, And the same thing with Sark as well. We had a conversation before the record, He's like, what's the vibe? I'm like, bro, it's sexy. What I'm saying? Let's keep it very sexy. And, so that's how it is. I normally try to have the conversations before. It's easier to have the conversations before rather than have the record finished and going back to make those changes, because it's art, So it's I think in art, there isn't a right or wrong thing in art. It's about how a person feels.
Now you've got yourself into this music promotion and now the promotion stage.
I know.
I'm coming to how, because, you roll with all these boys and girls, artists, and from a different quarters, you might watch them do their stuff, and their tours and stuff like that. You've gotten yourself into that space now. What are some of the learnings you're picking up from that?
I think to me, this is the most uncomfortable space. You know what I'm saying? Because once you make the record, you have to go out and promote it.
Yeah.
And the things that I will normally I'll call Sark, like, yo, we got to do this. And then for now, is the roles to change. So he's the one, he was actually suggested like this, you had to do this. So he's advising, but it's different when you're in this space. Then it seems like you forget everything you know.
Yeah.
So that's very strange.
Because it's on you now.
Yeah, it's on you.
With regards to music styles and the kind of projects we might see you working on, do you have any preferences or any direction that you lean towards more? Is it going to be more of the rap and maybe rap and R&B mix, or rap and Afro mix, or are we going to see you delve into other kind of genres? Because you mentioned working in East Africa as well on the first project and all that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I think what I have coming in, what I envision is going to be very diverse, very, very diverse. And as far as even putting up Sark and Oxlade was already kind of matched, that's already worked already.
Yeah.
But the next couple of records are people that you'll never imagine, put together. And I think that's what will be exciting about my records, because if you putting together records that people already, there's nothing unique or special about it. So for me, I'm focused on putting very strange collaborations, and you're like, how would that sound when you're going to listen to it? I think that would challenge me in that process.
Are there any specific genres you're looking at, or you're just going to go
100%.
Wild and free?
No, the next one, we're taking it Jamaica.
Oh.
Yeah, we're taking it Jamaica. So Jamaica-Africa combination.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to find out, is this an expression of your taste in music, or it is you being experimental?
Yeah.
Or strategic?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, ooh, that's deep. Okay, so as far as taste in music, I'm a rap head.
Okay.
So I some of the records I even listen to, like I had the Jay-Z album, the a cappella version. Yeah, okay. I'm very words. Yeah. Yeah. I'm very like, I'm a listener. So when I listen to music, I listen to what it's saying. All my favorite artists are people I can listen to. I'm more focused on the lyrics more than anything else. So part of it.
And I'm going to ask a very difficult question afterwards, and you have to be from a hip hop head.
Yeah.
You have to give me this answer. It should be the answer I'm waiting for. Yeah. I'll come to it.
Yeah. So part of it is a reflection of my taste. I'll listen to Undress You when I'm in a vibe or when I'm, what I'm saying. But that's what it is. So it's expression of different taste. But I don't think you can be strategic in music.
Okay.
Why
do you say though?
Because it's one of the most organic and one of the most spiritual art forms.
Okay.
That
when you say strategic in music and you talk about organic and spiritual art forms, right? Are you talking about the creation of the music or the marketing of it?
The whole process. And I'll tell you something,
okay.
right? God bless it. So I used to manage an artist called Cadet.
Oh yeah, the UK
guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last record, that we released, the record, I think till today is double platinum, right?
Right.
It was independently done.
Right.
The video cost us £250, right? £250
at the time.
No, this was 5 years ago. £250.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Yeah.
What tax evasive?
No, I'm saying £250.
What was the plan?
And we shot the video while we recorded the song.
Okay.
So can you imagine, right?
Yeah.
And the song is almost double platinum now.
Totally unplanned, no strategy, very organic.
Put a record out, and who shoots a video while you record a song?
Yeah.
That's more like a behind the scenes vibe kind of.
Right.
Live recording ish.
Yeah, and the song done 500,000 the first day it came out on YouTube, right?
Right.
So, what plan and what strategy? But if we were being strategic, right, we're planning. We had no makeup, we had no stylists, we had no models, we didn't have no lights, no
fancy
camera.
That feels like Kanye when he was trying to.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's trying to record in his early days.
A smart person would have been like, you know what? Let's put ourselves together and shoot a video.
Yeah.
But the energy and the vibe of everything that was being recorded
was worth it.
Was worth it. Came out, done the video. 3-4 days later, put a record out, and the rest is history. In 2018, it was the biggest record. One of the biggest records in UK and the biggest independent record, right?
Wow.
But the marketing naturally will come alongside with it.
That's right.
Even now, I have to do marketing.
Yes.
And that's, to me, is the most uncomfortable process.
Part of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I want the product, people to enjoy the product naturally. I want to make such a good product that it will move itself. But you still have to market and still put it into places. Yeah. So that's what I mean about strategy.
So there's Oxlade.
Oxlade, yeah.
A.K. Oxy, he was here with us.
Yeah,
Bad
Oxlade.
Yeah. Oxlade.
Steve's a valley. Steve's your Caesar. You know.
He's got names. He's got names.
Yeah.
That suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only go higher.
Facts.
You can only stay winning. So what kind of pressures does that put on you in your next records and your next records and your next records?
What's the name of the album? No Pressure. Right? Yeah. I think
Facts.
In anything, so far as you having fun, you being true to yourself, and it coming from a genuine place, it doesn't matter. Like it only gets better. You know, I think it's the music. You can have the biggest artists, but if the records are not really hitting, then it's not. So for me, it's more about the pressure is in making the best possible records each time. But I don't really, because I enjoy it, I'm having fun. Yeah. So I don't really feel, you know.
Now to my hip hop question. So put Sark aside, he's an exception. The guy that rap.
Yeah.
He's sick at to rap.
Facts.
He's got malaria in rap.
Yeah.
So more than running time, right? Yeah, better. Now globally, when you look at rap, lyrical content, style, dexterity, and all those things that made rap. When you look at rap now, what do you say? What do you say about it?
I think.
Do you miss rap, or you're comfortable with rap?
No, 100%. I miss, of course. You know, I mean, you still get pieces in different artists, but I miss it. You know, because and I sound like it's gotten very, I guess, hit driven. You know, as opposed to message driven.
Yes.
You know, but obviously because I'm a listener, so I miss that element.
It looks like there's a lot of our type around, but there's very less type of music that we're looking for, because I'm still struggling to look for like rap music that gets me to think and go like, like yo, you know, those ones that. Why?
Because it ends there. That's it. Music used to be just about you experiencing the sound and the message, but now music is an ingredient for a whole of a lot of other things, right? So the kind of rap you're talking about, your Nas, your whatever, your Eminem, your whatever, it doesn't fit anywhere. After listening to it, I can't do a TikTok with it, I can't dance with it, I can share it for a meme, nothing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. When we were listening to DMX, nobody was thinking, "Oh, this one could go in my TikTok." Wow, we were just, "Jah gonna make me." We were just in it. But now music needs extensions. Yeah. So even So even the creator is creating with
extensions.
The dance, the move, this beat, this tempo. With this part, you go cut this part and put for TikTok. Go cut this part, put for Instagram. So there's a lot to it. But the kind of music you are talking about, purposeful music, begins and ends with its sole purpose, which is to communicate a message. And now that is not the priority for music listeners.
And the one thing that I also add is now, instead of having, let's say, a full song, maybe three minutes or whatever of that level of content, now you might have pieces of it
in there.
And even nobody does 3 verses anymore.
What happened?
Pieces of it.
Because it wasn't the message.
So I have a song. I have a song that I was put on the 3rd verse.
Oh no!
And unfortunately,
then you went on the song, bro.
I keep blaming the DJs. Like this is the reason why I never hit. Because I'd have been a big artist, super artist. But the DJs play.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, Jay Foley.
It gets to the 2nd verse ending, and then they fade out. And I'm like, we were waiting for my part.
No, nobody was waiting.
We don't get time.
No, but for real, he said, remix. If I had the data, I'll just swap parts. And
remember, we used to listen and wait for the artist on the 3rd verse.
Because
and wait for the outro. They'll finish the song and be like, this from my boys down in Brooklyn. We'll listen to the whole outro until the tape that's clear.
Where was that science coming from that often the artist who ends the record is like the last killer?
That's how it used to be, though.
Yeah, that's how it used to be. Because it's competitive.
Was it a marketing strategy?
No.
To get people to listen to the song to the end?
No, it's just like, it's a vibe, right?
Yeah, it's a vibe.
If you've ever been in the studio,
it can't be a vibe all the time.
Bro, let me tell you.
Leaving the last killers with the
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. As the last killer.
I want you to talk to me.
Tell you something.
I want you to talk to me.
If you go studio with boys, they will never mix that arrangement in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you're a rapper, this is free advice to a rapper. If they are in a rush to put you and lock you in a position on the song while you are there in the middle of the session, you are not the last killer.
You're not the last killer.
If you finish your verse, no, like okay, you go to the middle. You are not the last killer. They are building the track around you.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're not the one.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And till today, I never asked to be placed on a track, and I don't think Sark has ever asked to be placed on a track. That's why if you watch most of Sark features, when Sark will come at the tail end. Yeah. Because after Sark, what are you going to do?
The last time they put Sark on somebody's record before him, the person became ice water.
You're going to say.
Yeah, that's to add to it.
Imagine Eminem going first. Like, the song is over. You know,
that's why I spoke about the Ice Prince Sark song, and I said that after Sark's verse, you know, he changed the rhythm of the song. He changed I listened to the song critically again this morning. I was like, yo, if you listen to the beginning, Ice Prince comes hard. I love his flow.
Even in the morning,
I love his flow.
Drake and Kanye. Yeah. And I hit it in the morning.
Yeah.
J. Cole had to come back and do for a third verse on 12 bars because. When Drake came with that, summertime fine with the voice note, we good track on it.
Even the
wow. You have to say
Jake Cole had to come back and say, I'm also here.
Black Sheriff,
Odumodu Black.
You know,
after
his Black Hole's verse,
after tear them down into
it forces me to repeat the song.
You know, I want to come back. Last part.
Last part.
Very last end.
So you are forced to listen. So you are saying it's a marketing strategy? I feel like
there's a marketing angle to it, but I'm saying that the intentionality is like a cipher. I think the habit might have come from a hip hop cipher.
Yes.
Because on a hip hop cipher is crews. So if we are the three music crew, and let's say J. Foley is our last killer, we don't start with him. Everybody else goes and we battle against the let's say the GH1 crew.
It's like a leaderboard.
Let's say yes. So it's like the three music crew and the GH1 crew. They will save their last killer. We'll also save our own. The small boys will go and fight. Then when we see that the thing is technical, yo, bring in Jay. Then when Jay comes, you understand? So it's like Eminem. So even when there was D12, Eminem was the last killer. When there was Slaughterhouse, Eminem was the last killer. Because when he shows up, it's like the Locks. It's like Rough Riders. Yeah. You don't hear DMX at the beginning. Yeah. DMX, they come at 2 minutes, 48 seconds.
It's like unspoken. It's like
it's an unspoken rule.
Yeah.
You know, look when Jay-Z came in, God did.
Yeah.
Then Jay-Z did 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Imagine if Jay-Z started, God did.
I would say without God,
Ross would not have
that God conversation, that song, I know that Khaled did not tell what you call it, they didn't tell Wayne and the rest that
I think that so going to content, right? The lyrical content would have been different, I think, if you listen to Ross and what it was doing. It would have been different. I think they would have touched on different things.
Different things, Let's roll back to we're talking Jamaica and strategy and that. I want us to just go back to that conversation again. So it feels as though you are being very intentional on the selection of where you want to. Is there a reason why it is Jamaica you're going into?
Okay, yes. I'm very, as far as the music itself, I'm very intentional. Like, even if you listen to this record itself, I mean, when's the last time you heard a song that's almost 4 minutes? Right?
Okay.
You know, you can see the structure of it, like the beat change. It's a lot of effort and a lot of, emphasis on the creativity. As far as being specific is, for me personally, it's important for me to put out the best possible records and not just put people together. So Jamaica is like one of my favorite places as well. And I grew up on my favorite artists coming up with like Shabba Ranks and all of those type of people. You know what I'm saying? So naturally, it would be, for me, it would be most enjoyable for me to have one of the legends in Jamaica.
So who's coming on this one?
You know, I wouldn't say yet.
But always.
But to know, I've done a record not for myself with Vibes Cartel that I put other people on as well. You know, mind you, I was part of the Bob Marley Sark record as well.
Nice.
Yes. You can only imagine.
How did you feel about the feedback on that? Just sorry to digress.
Yeah,
when the greatness happened and then we behave like Ghanaians.
The thing with me, right, is I always love however and whatever it is, so far as people are being genuine and however they felt. So if somebody said something and it wasn't that's not how they felt, but they were saying it just for the sake of it.
Clout
then
or
I'm like, forget it. But if you genuinely feel a certain type of way for it, it's like when you do art, for me, however people critique it or however they put, I love it. The fact that the conversation is going, because there's a lot of records or a lot of stuff with no conversation going around.
Right.
Mind you, there's a whole
art.
There was a whole entire album that came out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
look at it from that perspective of this one record.
That's so talked about.
Got that so much attention. That's a beautiful thing. To me, I say like, yo.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of artists.
Actually a positive one.
Artists, management, A&Rs, people get discouraged when the news is not positive. Forgetting that it being news in itself is positive. And I think you really touched on that, because I don't think we looked at it from that angle, that it was an album.
Yep.
And out of all of it, the one that stayed in the press with
Yeah.
debates and arguments for weeks was that one. And that is a victory in itself.
Did you anticipate this feedback and this reaction?
I mean,
personally?
Sark, I don't know how he knows it, but he would, every record, like, he'd be like, this, I'm like, oh, let's do it. And he said, no, this is what is most likely going to happen. And I look at him like, okay, but for me, and then for him, so I think I speak for him as well, it was the victory was the process of making the record. Like even hearing Bob Marley's raw vocals, bro, that should give you, goosebumps.
Goosebumps, yeah.
It's
For real, we didn't even think about it that way as well.
Like
listen to the raw vocals,
the
rights, the correct, the original
the
thing.
original, a cappella.
And the
with
timing.
small reverb.
But do you know
That's a
how
lot of
hard?
goosebumps.
Do you know how
Yeah.
difficult it was to get the timing right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
We
and
probably sang live.
Yeah.
sang
different
live,
tempo.
Everything is very dynamic. Everything is digital. So now it doesn't have there's so much to it. The how big the files were. So even getting the timing right. So
I mean, I've
just
heard him
having that-
say he did a couple of verses. He sent them across, and then the team chose the first verse. Even talk about the fact that he was asked to rap in Tree. And all those
100%.
things. Yeah, I mean, you were with him too and through, so I'm sure you guys were bouncing ideas off each other and whatnot. What is it like? You work with Cadet, the late Cadet as well.
Yeah.
What is it like working with a rapper?
Okay.
And marketing rap in an Afrobeats driven industry, or an Amapiano driven industry.
So naturally, I've always worked with rappers. Before I worked with Big Nasty as well.
Oh, wow.
Who rapped as well.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I think, for me, rappers have an advantage.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, they have an
I'd
advantage.
love to hear that.
Yeah, because say for a singer, it is so many things you can sing or so many things you can say, right?
Okay.
But a rapper can be very versatile, touch on different topics and be more dynamic and move around a bit. Think of it, because as soon as you hear, let's say any singer, you kind of know, okay, this is this person. And the range to me is not as much as far as a rapper would.
Yeah.
If you listen to what Sark is talking about on Dress You versus Otana or different records, you can see the range of it.
Dynamism.
You know what I'm saying? Dynamism. So for me, I think I enjoy and prefer working with rappers.
You work with rappers. Okay.
And it's music. Personally, it's like it doesn't matter what genre it is. Good music is good music, and that's it. Like
Then I want to pick your mind on the rap scene in Africa. Once upon a time, I think there was a conversation about putting Sark against other rappers in Africa, and I'm sure I don't know if you watch some of these conversations online. And
Are you talking about Nasty C?
I was gonna ask.
yeah.
Without mentioning
I don't want problems.
Oh no, when you give that sister for score. There was a serious, it almost turned physical, but where have you been? That they are saying that Nasty C, the rapper, Sarkodie.
It be like talking response, more like made him like a river. C is too big, bro. Nasty river.
So I just want to pick your mind on when you look at the rap scene in Africa, in terms of even quality, comparing the times that you've been in actively with other rappers and having come to work with Sark all these years, where would you say the African rap scene is at? I mean, devoid of your bias towards Sark.
Of course. I mean, I think we need more rappers, definitely, 100%. We need more rappers. Because there isn't enough. It's a very singing-driven marketplace.
Well, the rappers are becoming singers now. Does that bother you?
No, I'm saying there's more singers than rappers, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying the rappers are also becoming singers.
Who rappers are singers?
Yeah.
Oh,
A few of them.
I mean,
The most recent one will be Amado.
We lost Kofi Kinata.
It's true.
We lost Kofi Kinata.
most of them say if they don't.
Used to
Yeah,
rap.
I mean, that's why I'm asking if you've been following the conversation, because the rap scene in Africa, for some reason, arguably, is being diluted by the singing because
mention names.
Bro, I beg you.
You know what? Let me say this before you continue. Right? I think for me, it would be so difficult for me to give you
a non-bias.
No, seriously, because my playlist. You know, at the end of each year, you look at your Spotify playlist.
Rapping
Kwan. and it's about 5 people. So
I
always felt alone. I felt like I was just old school. I felt like I wasn't connecting with what were the trends of today. But I'm happy. I'm happy that we are here.
Because that's just taste and preference.
No,
isn't it?
No, but in the millions.
But I feel I get worried for today's music, and I understand that. Music is diversified now, it's dynamic now. People are taking places, but I feel like what music was and its purpose somehow, some way, is being lost. And there's a new generation loving a whole new different vibe of what music is supposed to be for.
Luther Vandross, I know him,
bro.
Would you guys agree? Yeah. Would you guys agree that rappers make better writers?
Yeah.
And that's rappers are the
when they sing.
Like no shout out, no shade to
okay,
anybody.
Hold on.
Rappers,
because like if I do that, you are killing my vim for my people like Joe Thomas and them.
No. Oh, relax. I didn't say they are good rappers. I'm saying that. Listen,
cried with
the rappers. Yes, I know. Relationship is hard. Listen, I understand.
8701. Asher Raymond. I don't want to go to
this
track 11. This
guy always brings his trauma.
I don't want to go to track 11.
This guy always brings his trauma. This guy always wants to bring his trauma into the conversation.
Westlife. Do you know what Westlife did for me?
They take in half to wipe the floor. But like seriously, when you look at the technicality of the art form, rappers are the only ones that have to fight the element of rhyme, context, skill, style, and delivery all at once, right?
Yeah, but melody is also difficult.
Question: I have never seen a singer in court for their lyrics before. Yeah. Have you?
No.
Ed Sheeran was there recently.
No, that was for the beats. That was for the beats.
Yeah, but not for his lyrics.
No, he said singer in court for their lyrics.
Politician, why?
Yeah.
I agree that rappers have a bigger job to do, but it's also not easy to compose a tune that should get people in a certain...
Remember, look at the tribute to Notorious B.I.G. There's this song You know, they had to make a tribute to their dead friend, right, while still being lyrical, melodious, and creative.
Bruh, the Titanic song.
Is that why?
No. Seems like yesterday we used to rock the flow. I laced the track, you love the flow. So far from hanging on the block to know, Notorious. Yeah, bro. Do you know how it takes? Do you know the Fabian's part was easy. Which was even sampled off an old song.
Serial on your wedding, we sang. Bro.
No. On my wedding.
Yes, it was.
No, my wedding. Hi, my name is. What? My name is.
So back to that question with regards to the dilution of rap artists, becoming.
I think what I wouldn't say is being diluted, but there's a lot of rappers that have not come to the forefront of it because it's so singing dominated. There's a lot of rappers that.
So have they not evolved? Because the singing artists have evolved.
Question: must they evolve?
They must.
Because the rappers are singing now.
Okay, so what I'm saying
is
the rappers are singing. They won't accept it, but the rappers are singing as a coping mechanism to the fact that the popular music styles are shifting away from content.
Or probably
you understand? So you are a dying breed. Okay. So it's like the same way the giraffe neck became long because food shortage and they have to strip. That's the evolution we learned. I'm not a professor of evolutionary biology to answer your bloody question, man. If you ask me this question on TV again, we'll listen back. I will tell you.
Cyril, would you also attribute that to music consumption?
Yes.
I think that's
Charlie, imagine being left out. There was a sister. Let me tell you how much rap has died. Okay? There was a time that on the continent, rap was so relevant that the continent's biggest broadcaster, which was DSTV, had the continent's biggest beverage supplier, Coca-Cola Company, sponsor a rap reality show across Africa. That's how important rap was just 15 years ago. Now, when Coke Studios and all these things, it's heavily the same brand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nasty C had that song, Up With The Way I Work, Down With The Way, he and
Runtown.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the only rap song, I might be wrong, but I think that was the only rap song that came out of that Coke Studios project. Mm-hmm. It's been singing, dancehall, Stoneboy has been there, EL has been there, it's been singing. So the whole continent has had this paradigm shift. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Despite the fact that rap is shifting in Africa so much, it also shifted in America. But we still got A$AP Rocky. We still got J. Cole. We still got all these other rappers. Even we got a whole new list of the Jay-Z's and DMX's that we had.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay, I have something very interesting
Let's
to tell
go.
you, right? Okay. So let's take, say, Kendrick, right?
Okay.
You know, it took him probably like 10, 15 years
to
figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So I think...
Yeah. Telling on no joke.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like with any genre, be it rapper, singer, it's a matter of figuring things out. Maybe it could be that the rappers have not figured it out yet.
Okay.
It's not. I don't think there has to be a change of whatever they're doing, because
I agree with you perfectly.
Because the singers have figured it out.
The consistency that is going to take for you to crack it is the problem. So you can choose to switch so that you don't have to go through that journey.
But you keep switching. It's like...
But that's what they keep doing, bro.
You know what, my father...
Remember when auto-tune came? And rappers jumped on auto-tune more than singers. Auto-tune that was supposed to help singers vocalize clearly became a rapper tool.
And I think like if you change your styles to fit in, it's like a politician that each time your party loses, you change
You
party.
switch.
That's what happened. No, seriously, that's exactly what it is.
I'm going to quote you on that. I'm going to tweet on that.
Let me elaborate on that. It's a very important point, but I know some artists who have suffered that non-change as well.
Yeah, it's like everything goes in cycles. Everything, that's the evolution of life, right?
Yeah.
So naturally, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're truly talented in whatever, of course you need to make adjustments, but you have to stick with it. You have to be consistent with it. Just imagine, right, putting a billboard outside this morning, and in a few hours you take it down, say, oh, it didn't work. It hasn't been out long enough. You haven't been consistent enough for it to work. And that's how look at Jay-Z has a line where he say, I started in 88. Landed in 96.
Yeah. So
it's there.
Yeah.
So an artist like my own good friend Trigmatic, I remember very well that
I like him as well.
Yeah, Trig raps. Yes, he sings as well. But there was a moment in time where there was a switching from when Hip Life switched into
From Nobody
Jama.
Knows Tomorrow.
Jama.
So that song for day in the museum. And they tell them every day things are the hype.
If I build a chamber and self-contained,
put a song for
they just put a song. You understand?
Only air condition.
And he was very emphatic that look, he feels like we are going into a space that might not last, and he wanted to stay true to what his music form was, but that came with a very big price to pay. Of people moving to a new space and then falling off from what his values were with regards to his music. Now I see same for Afrobeats, and that's a question I'm asking that I've said before, and people have come hard at me with regards to that I keep saying that it's going to get to a point Afrobeats will crash, but they say it will evolve. I don't think it's going to be an evolution. I think it will crash, but that's just my opinion. And I'm saying crash before I ask a question because it has exposed us to the world, which has been a beautiful thing, and a lot of people are riding the wave. However, it also means that people are now going to look deeper into Africa and start identifying what is real African music, and there's going to be individual preferences. So someone's now going to discover Bobobo. And it's gonna go like, oh my days, Bobo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go like, oh Bobo, right? Oh my days, did you hear that rhythm from Africa? And Timberland is gonna take that rhythm from Africa, that Bobo rhythm, and make it Bobo the next, thing. And it's not Afrobeats. What we'll be saying is that the only excuse to be given to it is that that Bobo rhythm, that new Afrobeat has got a Bobo foundation. Yeah. No, it is not a Bobo foundation. It is Bobo music that has been I don't want to say modernized, but it's been exposed to the world.
Very good point.
Exposed to the world. So it's are we? I've even taken from the question I was going to ask too, but
but I have something to say.
Okay, I touch on what I was saying.
That is so. I mean, I understood where you were taking it to, right? The fact that Afrobeats is probably like the number one genre in the world now, it's a beautiful thing, right? But then it puts a lot of how do I put it? A lot of the media, people like you guys, to celebrate the artists, to make sure that we own it, make sure that we just like hip hop did, right?
Yeah.
They make sure that the craft was kept and continued. So we have to really celebrate us, and even bringing up like Trigmatic or bringing up different artists, we have to celebrate all the great work that everybody has done.
Do you feel there's too much pressure on media to get things done?
I don't think it's a space.
I heard that conversation yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think it's pressure. It's the space. It's that, for instance, right? I would have never come here if I hadn't put a record out that needed coming here to sit and not talk about anything. It would have been, you know what I'm saying? So once you're in that space, I think it comes with it. The same way an artist can complain. I saw you the piece on Kanye.
Yeah.
You can, you know what I'm saying? You can't put yourself out in the space and not expect. It's part of what you do.
Him.
So I think.
So back to that. So back to that conversation. Have rappers evolved?
I think this one, you like this one, right? With rap music, it's not only lyrics.
Okay.
It's an art form. It's how you live. It's your presentation. It's a whole entire lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think the evolution does not have to come with the content of the music itself.
Okay.
The evolution comes with the human being himself.
Okay.
Because how you present things and the things that you say has to evolve.
Evolve, right.
You don't have to change your style.
Okay, so the things have to evolve, but not necessarily.
No, the things, because the one thing that's constant is change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's constant. But we as human beings, we don't have to, quote unquote, change.
I have a very funny question to ask you. And it's because you are close to.
I was just.
Rap luminary.
Okay. Yeah. I'll bet my last dime on that. It's the same question I'm going to ask, but go ahead.
So there's a conversation about Sack's lyrics and that he hasn't evolved and he's not, he needs to talk about something different. He's always talking about the same thing over and over again in different styles.
Is it?
So as a follower of rap and as a long-time friend of Sack, where do you stand in this? Because you probably hear him more than we.
Amazing.
I think otherwise, though.
Okay, you go
I think
first.
otherwise. I think he's. I think
have
he's
a question
evolved.
for you. I'm not going to answer the question. The guest to answer. Pusha T, Kanye, Eminem, Jay-Z, Rick Ross. Since they started, has their style changed?
Yeah, Eminem.
No, not their style. I'm not talking about their style.
The lyrics.
The lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics. Have they? Pusha T
Eminem
is still selling cocaine. Rick Ross is still telling us as he's the boss. He bought this, he bought that. Jay-Z is still saying he's the best and he's the one who does the business and he's the one who has the sense and everything. Eminem will always put lyrics and skill over content.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne is still telling you that he's young baby since the first mixtape till today. It's the same lyrics, different reiterations, different phrasing, blah blah blah. It's like I am dope. Dope is me. Dope me. I am. It's the same thing in these 5 legends. Right, even Tupac, right? Tupac, if you listen to Tupac's album, he's saying the same thing. If you see B.I.G., he's saying the same thing.
So it's like we've not caught on. We've not caught on the thematic, representations.
I don't know. People go for Sack all the time like that.
Yeah,
like,
but
I mean, he wants but like.
But I think that's a fantastic analogy. Actually, it makes sense. But for you personally, I don't know. Have you seen conversations like that anytime he drops a record?
No, honestly, I haven't.
You don't still? Okay.
I'm a type of person that I don't really. I make the product and I enjoy it. I don't.
You don't,
yeah.
Well, fans talk about, they talk about.
What I would say is, naturally, the lyrics obviously is consistently changing. You just have to listen to it, and how certain things were presented previously will be different from how. I think it is. Jay-Z said, "Song Cry" became Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah. Right. It's the same record, but it's just different delivery or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So. If you listen to Can't Let You Go, or if you listen to the one Rugen, it's different records, but it's different topics where you can pick. If you're not thinking it, when you listen to pick 2 records, right? And when you listen to it, you can pick different things that reflect which in your life now, and those records that whenever it was will have different things that reflects in your life.
Yeah,
because we do the same things every day in life, but it's in different ways.
Right.
Different context. Yeah.
Different context. So that's exactly what it is.
So what do you think of? I'm going to digress a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Andre 3000 interview where he said he had been quiet for this long because he didn't have really anything to talk about? And so, I mean, people also were like, yo, there's a lot of things happening. Why are you not talking about?
But I think there are different type of rappers, right?
Okay.
There's someone that tell stories, storytelling rappers.
Okay.
There's rappers that rap from an imaginary perspective, right? Like Usher is the number one imaginary rapper,
they be
right?
auto cook.
You know what I'm saying? He's a story.
Right?
And you know, and Biggie would tell a story, or whoever, Drake in some occasions. So if he's a person who draws from himself, right, then it becomes difficult for him to draw when he's not as active and he's had maybe 15, 20 years of giving all that he has, and he's in the point where now he's at home, he doesn't go anywhere. So I think I can understand.
I see.
But if
that's why Andre changed.
Yeah.
Andre used to be a rapper in the showbiz, blah blah blah, hard everything, but his life experience changed, and now he plays the flute. And he's like, forget you guys. J. Cole came out wanting to be a Jay-Z protege so bad, chasing down rock, lyrics, wanted all the flashy things. But guess what? He sold his Range Rover and everything and bought a bike and
he
grew his dreads, and that's what's in his lyrics now.
Yep.
I think Sark has evolved for me as a rapper. I think he's evolved. I think I remember the Sark, the storyteller at Rapaholic, the early days on stage, and then the humor Sark who has a lot of humor to the speed rapper who had a lot of humor to his lyrics. He can diss you and you would just, and then now he's evolved to reacting to the space that he's in, where I feel is very toxic. So you feel as you hear lyrics of him biting back at us for things that we do to him. It may be coincidental that some of the songs were recorded back in the day. He's now releasing them.
Okay, one thing that I would say about that element is he's a person that makes a lot of fun of himself. Like people, he's
that
very
much I know
in terms of it. But I think for the most part, the lyrics in certain records, it's more of a statement. Because for me, I enjoy Glories and those type of records are like my favorite records of him, right? So listening, people might interpret certain things differently, but all the lyrics, all the records are more of a reflection of different things, not necessarily himself, but as a collective. Some of the stories that he would tell would be not his stories, but somebody else's story. Yeah.
Moving from the Sark conversation, you mentioned having worked with Vybz Kartel, right? Who I know is still behind bars and all of that. So I just want you to take us through how the contact happened and then creation of that.
So there's a DJ I manage. I still do management. There's a DJ I manage. She's Lara Fraser. She's from Australia. So she and the people that she worked with as far as producers, they had a relationship with Vybz, and they had conversations and they sent a record over. So when I heard it, then I came to put it all together, bring the producer, Street Beats. Actually, because for me, every time any opportunity comes in, I always want to bring it home because that's the only way we can grow. So Street Beats did a production, and there's another legendary producer that's what that came on board to produce.
Now that you mentioned production, it came to mind earlier on. How involved are you in these productions?
The records, like Black Jersey, for instance, I think I've done most collaborations with Black Jersey ever, as far as the producer. So I've been extremely involved in his whole entire project. And even we talk about the lyrics as well. If you listen, his last album that I was very heavily involved, it's very rap driven. Even though he sings, if you listen to the lyrics, like there's a lot of attention paid in the lyrics and making sure that he stayed on topic with different subject matter. But I'm involved enough.
All right, our time is almost up. It's been a great conversation, but let's just wrap it up with the plans now. I mean, so you, Oxlade, Sark is out and Dress You. The plans beyond this now.
So for now, my main focus is to push the record. Everybody's telling me you have to push the record, you have to put promotion.
I can imagine.
So my main focus now is to push the record, to get it to a certain level. Because what I don't want to do is put music out and not let it see its full potential. I don't want to move on to the next one. I want to push the record till it peaks, and you know what I'm saying. So my main focus now is to push the record. Then the next single is Jamaica, Big.
I was going to ask, do you have any? Is it going to be this year? Is it going?
No, it's going to be like I'm talking about a few, like in not within the next 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The goal is to keep it consistent, like flooded.
Oh, wow.
That's keep it super consistent, flooded. I want to put out 10 singles this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Will you put that into like an EP or an album?
I'll do 10 singles. And I'm doing a joint EP with Black Jersey as well.
Okay.
So that will be a side of it. But the whole goal is to flood it, like as much music.
Busy.
Yeah.
Talking about projects, EPs, albums, and whatnot, do you think the culture of listening to EPs and albums in our time, has been lost?
And I would say yes and no. Right? If I'm to do a body of work, you have to make sure that people care about it. And if you do a body of work, you have to make sure that it's extremely content driven. I can't put 4 singles on an EP and expect you to enjoy it. Right?
Okay.
I will listen to a playlist if that's what I want. If you put an EP together, it has to be extremely. You have to touch on different subjects. You have to touch on things that people can relate and
properly curated.
So that's what it is. But we're in a very hit record space.
Yeah.
So if you put an EP together, you want to have 4 hits in the EP. That's why I'm not putting. I'm going to do a minimum, God willing, 10 singles. I'm not going to put it all into an EP because I wouldn't want to listen to that. If I'm seriously, if I'm listening to an EP, I want it where it's diverse, you touch on different things. I always think of place and music. Where would I listen to this record?
Okay.
Right? If you're at home, you wouldn't want to hear what you listen to in the club. So hence, when I put an EP together, I want to have records that I can listen at home, in my car, getting ready, in the gym, or getting inspired. So I think that's what it is.
The beauty of your work is the bridge, or shall I say, the combination of you being a marketing or business-driven individual and doing music, because now you know what type of music you want to hear in the club. What type of music you want to hear in the lounge and stuff like that. And I think it gives you an advantage, sort of, because most of the artists may need someone like you around to let them know that, okay, you need to put these records together or put this project together so that it can achieve A, B, and C. I'm just wondering if we have a lot of you out there that can help, the ecosystem in the way. Because I now understand why people always want to give you your flowers around SAC, because this is the mindset that's going on behind the scenes. That like for example, when you talked about the playlist, immediately I thought about Jams. Because SAC kept saying Jams is not an album, it's not an EP, it's a playlist of songs. And I'm looking at it right now, and I'm listening to what you're saying, and I can understand.
Even when you look at the artwork, it's a playlist. It's a playlist. It's like a playlist.
Yes, because you have a number of potential hit songs in there, and I just want to say I really appreciate your mindset for that, and hopefully some of the artists
produce us for us to drop our music playlist. I'm ready, because we have a rapper here, an old rapper whose verse was never played here.
I'm not a Mongo.
You know what?
I'm not Mongo.
Have you stopped?
I'm an Afrobeats guy.
We are singing now.
With auto-tune.
Wow, man, it's been a good conversation with you. I really love this one. The future looks good. We're waiting for that record to drop with the Jamaican, and the person whose name I'm not mentioning, we'll find out. We'll drill down. It's
gonna be big, though. It's gonna be big. Tell you. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna sneak into the team and see who's gonna leak that information to us and drop it there. But it's all good. Wishing you all the best. I know. Well, we know you're not here with us. When are you leaving town?
I'll be here for maybe a couple more days.
But I'm
always in and out, though.
Okay. All right. Sure. That's fine. That's great. We're looking forward to have you join us again sometime later on. But if you haven't seen the video, go and check it out on Dress You. It has Oxlade on there as well as Sark featured, and you're definitely gonna love that jam. It's in our playlist here as well, so you definitely see it on the screens. KJ, thank you so much for being here with us. If you are in town sometime 9th February, there's a party that we're having at Garage. Place to be there, opening for the first time. Not for the first time. For the first time this year.
Okay.
Yeah, reopening, and Free Music is going to be there as well. Just we're going to dirty ourselves, jam music, jam. And give us a hint when Oxy is also in town.
Absolutely. He's coming in, I think, in a week as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Oh, okay. All right, sure. We'll see how we make this very dirty. Thank you so very much.
You guys for having
me. And we're back, yes. Yeah. Anyone give thank yous to, definitely hasn't been a single-handed job,
Yeah, I mean, trust me, so many people to thank. So I don't want to say names and I forget anyone, but there's been so many people.
Yeah.
Especially my sister. She's been like
amazing support.
Yeah. And Sark as well. Very supportive as well.
Awesome.
And so many people. Oxlade, like everybody's been very, very supportive.
Awesome, awesome. Looking out for more stuff. And we're back again same time tomorrow, same time, 10 a.m. right here on Culture Daily. Don't forget, it's still football weekend. So I know we are out. Yeah, we are out though.
We've been out for over a week, bro.
What do you call them? The day you shared an apology, you don't want to go read the comments under that.
No one's.
We don't want saying, the guy says sorry.
No one's.
Do you want to know something? I saw it and I skipped.
No, but the sorry doesn't put us back in the AFCON, does it?
It was yesterday, right? Because I think Sadiq Adam said they had put their deadline on the apologies. So if you bring an apology after a deadline, and yesterday, interestingly, the GFA also put out, an apology to.
But the GFS, we just want a breakdown of the distance.
That's what we are asking
of the expenditure.
for.
But guys, what's the point of the apology, though?
All the apologies
because I don't think
it
puts us back in the AFCON.
All the apologies
it doesn't do that. So
reactive.
It's just reactive.
You came back over a week. People have complained and demanded an apology, and then you put one out.
Should they apologize?
I don't watch football, so I'm in the worst.
Thank you.
No man say what does not kill you makes you strong.
I'm with you on that.
What does not kill you make you strong.
They should go to the cancer. They should go to the cancer ward and check that.
But what has he done? He's done nothing wrong. He went to play football. He was brought in the last 9 minutes.
And as an experienced footballer,
as much as he's apologizing, he got his record.
The ball hit his hand accidentally.
He stretched out his hand where he was not supposed to.
He did not go into the game to go and get a foul for us. His name, I say his name. The ball just hit his hand, and ball to hand is.
So it's a penalty.
Penalty.
Look what Cyril is doing. That's exactly what he was doing.
Whose fault is it?
I believe
I can fly.
Whose fault was it? It wasn't his fault. I mean, football.
He's too experienced for that.
Accidents happen.
Accidents happen. Watch our viewing party. The finals will be here live, so we'll definitely be on our premises here at. In Abelake Bay at Funya Streets. You can't miss out. Just come and join us for the last game. Ivory Coast seem to be excited already. They beat Senegal, right? They beat Senegal also. They're very happy. Mali beats Burkina Faso. They're good. It's fine, no problem. Ghana we beat ourselves, and we're still beating ourselves. But the viewing party will be happening here, so come and join us as well, and let's watch together. On that note, it's Jay, Cyril, Lenny, and our guest KJ, and we are peace out.